In 1947, the United States Navy sent 4,700 soldiers to Antarctica. They were equipped for 8 months. They left after 8 weeks. No official explanation was ever given. The operation was called Highjump. The classified sections of the report have never been fully released. And 2 weeks before his death, a musician who had spent time on that same continent screened a private documentary that almost nobody saw. Antarctica does not need conspiracy theories to feel like something is being hidden. The science alone is already strange enough to make you ask, what exactly is down there? Antarctica looks empty from space. A white continent at the bottom of the world, locked behind storms, darkness, and thousands of kilometers of ocean. But for scientists, Antarctica is one of the strangest natural laboratories on Earth. It holds ancient climate records, hidden lakes, frozen deserts, active volcanoes, strange signals, and places where life survives almost completely cut off from sunlight. And because so much of it is remote, sealed, and difficult to reach, Antarctica has also become a perfect stage for conspiracy theories. Online, people talk about secret bases, alien technology, lost civilizations, and pyramid-shaped structures buried in the snow. Some point to satellite images and say the shapes look too perfect to be natural. Others imagine doors under the ice, tunnels beneath mountains, or evidence that governments are hiding something. But this is where the story becomes more interesting. Most of those claims do not have strong evidence. The so-called Antarctic Pyramid, for example, is most likely a natural mountain shaped by ice wind and erosion. Nature can carve rock into forms that look strangely geometric. In a continent covered by glaciers, sharp peaks can rise from the ice like monuments. So maybe the mystery is not that someone built a pyramid there. Maybe the mystery is that Antarctica itself can create landscapes so extreme that they look artificial. The kind measured by satellites, drilled through by scientists, recorded by seismic instruments, and hidden under ice so thick that even today, we are still learning what is beneath it. Because Antarctica does not need fantasy to feel mysterious. The science is already strange enough. One of the most haunting examples is a place called Blood Falls. In the McMurdo Dry Valleys, a red liquid seeps from the end of Taylor Glacier and stains the ice like a wound. At first glance, it looks impossible, a blood-red waterfall flowing in one of the coldest and driest regions on Earth. But the explanation is not supernatural. The red color comes from iron-rich salty water trapped beneath the glacier. When this hidden brine reaches the surface and meets oxygen, the iron reacts and turns red, like rust spreading across the ice. But the real mystery is deeper than the color. That water may have been isolated beneath the glacier for a very long time. It comes from a dark, salty, oxygen-poor world sealed away from the surface. And inside environments like this, scientists have found something that changes the entire meaning of Antarctica. Tiny organisms can survive in places with no sunlight, using chemistry instead of photosynthesis. This is why blood falls is not only a visual phenomenon. It is a doorway into the idea that life may exist in extreme environments we once thought were impossible. Beneath Antarctica, there is an entire hidden system of subglacial lakes. These lakes are trapped under the ice sheet, sometimes buried under hundreds or even thousands of meters of frozen mass. You cannot see them from the surface, and the ice above them looks flat and silent. When water moves under the ice, the surface can rise or sink. Radar can reveal hidden shapes. Altimetry can show that some lakes fill, drain, and connect to others through unseen channels. In other words, Antarctica is not a dead frozen block. It has a secret plumbing system under the ice. Water moves there, pressure builds there. Lakes appear and drain there. And that hidden water leads to one of the biggest scientific questions of all. In places like subglacial Lake Whillans and Lake Mercer, researchers have drilled through thick ice to reach water that has been sealed away from the surface. And yet, microbial ecosystems can exist there. This changes the way we think about life. On the surface, life depends heavily on sunlight. Plants convert light into energy, animals depend on plants, and ecosystems grow from that foundation. But beneath Antarctica, life has to work differently. Microbes may use chemical reactions, minerals, or ancient organic material as energy sources. Their world is not bright and warm. It is cold, black, pressurized, and hidden. That is why Antarctic research connects to astrobiology. If life can survive under Antarctic ice, then maybe life could also survive under the icy crust of other worlds, like Europa or Enceladus. So the question is no longer only, what is under Antarctica? The question becomes, what does Antarctica tell us about life in the universe? On the Ross Ice Shelf, scientists place sensitive seismic instruments into the snow. They discovered that winds blowing over the surface can create continuous vibrations inside the ice. Not singing like a human voice, but vibrating with tones created by wind, snow, and the structure of the ice itself. And those vibrations can be useful. If the sound changes, it may reveal storms, melting, or stress inside the shelf. A continent that looks silent is actually full of signals. We simply needed the right instruments to hear them. And then, in the middle of this frozen world, there is fire. Mount Erebus rises from Ross Island as one of Antarctica's most active volcanoes. It is one of the most powerful images on Earth, fire burning inside the frozen continent. It contains opposites that should not exist together. Red waterfalls in white valleys. Liquid lakes beneath solid ice. Microbes living without sunlight. Ice shelves that vibrate like instruments. Volcanoes burning in one of the coldest places on the planet. At the South Pole, scientists built IceCube, one of the strangest observatories ever created. Thousands of sensors are frozen below the surface, waiting for tiny flashes of light created when neutrinos interact with atoms. Neutrinos are ghost-like particles. They can pass through planets, stars, and our own bodies almost without touching anything. And when that happens, the ice itself becomes part of the detector. So beneath the South Pole, scientists are using ancient transparent ice to study some of the most violent events in the universe: exploding stars, black holes, and cosmic accelerators. And then there are the strangest signals. The ANITA experiment, carried by balloon over Antarctica, searched for radio signals connected to high-energy particles. Some detected events appeared to come from unexpected directions, creating debate among scientists. This does not mean aliens. It does not prove a hidden civilization under the ice. It means that Antarctica is so unusual, and the physics of ice, radio waves, particles, and reflections is so complex that some observations are still difficult to explain. That is the difference between conspiracy and science. Science begins with evidence and admits when the answer is not yet clear. It is hiding Earth's memory in layers of ice. It is hiding lakes below glaciers, microbes in darkness, fire beneath snow, signals from space, and natural systems that we are still learning to understand. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.